So I am back from New York Comic Con, and while I was at the con, I received a shipping notification from CGC, and today the box actually arrived. And so we are going to take a look at what it is that is shown up from CGC. And the cool thing is the video that you're watching now is sponsored by the very people I was hanging out with at New York Comic Con, specifically Shortboxed. This video is sponsored by Shortboxed, the easiest and safest way to buy and sell graded comic books. Visit them today using the link in the description. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. As you just heard, I am fresh in from New York Comic Con. I had an absolute blast at the con, meeting folks that are subscribers to the channel. I met a few people that have been subscribers of the channel since I was doing videos in my kitchen in California. So it was an absolute pleasure for me to meet those people and to put some faces with some names. With that said, I do want to take a look at a couple of books that have shown up here from CGC. I honestly do not remember when I sent these books in, but I am certainly glad that they are back. I had all of these books cleaned and pressed by CGC. So we're going to take a look at what has come back. And right off the top, it's a cool book. Right off the top is a cool book. I actually had a lot of copies of this in the 100K collection. This by far was the nicest of the ones in the collection. And it came back at a 9.6 with white pages. Moon Knight issue #1 from 1980. Really cool book. And again, I had a lot of copies of this one. What's cool, I just noticed this. It actually says newsstand edition right there on the top, and it is indeed a newsstand. I actually covered this not that long ago, that CGC was going to start to implement this label designation, and I wasn't certain if it was actually going to be on this book, but sure enough it is. Sure enough it is. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. I think a lot of the ones I actually sent or had were direct editions. So just coincidentally, I sent in a newsstand, 9.6 with white pages. There you go. You cannot beat that. Next up, we have, I was hoping that that would be not that great. Oh, that's even worse. This is not bad. I see a few little things on it. Yeah. So this is Predator issue #1. This one came back a 9.6 with white pages. The first appearance of Predator in comics. I am a huge fan of both Predator and Aliens, two franchises that go back to my childhood. Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Predator movie, just incredible stuff right there. But this one came back at a 9.6, so not bad. Not bad with that. I was hoping that I would get a 9.8. Not only did I not get a 9.8, I actually received a lower grade than the one that I just showed. This is the exact same book, Predator issue #1. This one came back a 9.4, but with white pages, so you can't complain too much. I only found 2 copies of this book in the entire 100K collection, and I found them in completely different boxes at completely different times, and it actually took me a minute to realize that I actually had 2 copies, because when I found them, I put them in 2 different places, so it took me a minute to realize that I had 2 copies. Oh man. As I look down at the last book that is here, I was very hopeful that this one would have received a higher grade. Man, it is what it is, and I see exactly what it is that prevented this from being what I hoped that it would be. This is G.I. Joe. Speaking of comics that take me right back to my childhood, this is G.I. Joe, a real American hero, issue #21. This one came back a 9.6 with white pages. Also a book that was found in the 100K collection. This is the first appearance of Storm Shadow. It is also the silent issue, and this book also has a spine tick. So there you go. That is why it received the grade that it did. Sometimes when you at least for me, when I send books in and then I forget that I sent the book in, and then, you know, I'm all hopeful that it's going to be a super high grade. I forget about the defects that were probably present when I sent it in, because we all remember things in their best condition. So this one came back a 9.6. I think my issue number 1 is also a 9.6. And I want to take a look at these one more time because, yeah, every single one of these books actually came out of the 100K collection. This is a collection, for those that don't know, that I bought a couple of years ago, and it is comprised of more than 100,000 comics. It's about 28,000 pounds, or about 400 long boxes. Those are basically the statistics around the collection. But just a really fantastic collection, to be honest with you. And I am hopeful at some point that I'll be able to find another collection, maybe not as large, but hopefully a really cool collection that has some awesome books, because the 100K collection, as you can see, has just bountiful in a lot of different ways. There's actually a couple of books on the wall behind me that also came out of the 100K collection as well. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. At some point, I'll probably do some kind of update on New York Comic Con and give you guys some idea of what actually transpired at New York Comic Con. But for the moment, let's just say that New York Comic Con was fantastic. I had an absolute blast there, and I look forward to doing some additional things in 2023. And there's a strong possibility that I'll be doing some of those things with Shortbox. So definitely looking forward to continued collaboration with them. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I want to encourage you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel for some reason or another, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. And if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.